back to another awesome video, and today's TV show review is going to be of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. So Daredevil Born Again Season 1, it's kind of in this gray area where kind of a continuation of the Netflix series, but at the same time it's a fresh new start. But at the same time, it's a show where you don't have to watch the first 3 seasons of Daredevil from the Netflix era, but you could if you wanted to. I don't remember the names of the writers, but here are the writers and the directors of this season and of this show, and here are the names of them for each episode. Now, I've got to say that I had no high expectations or low expectations when it came to this show. I was just excited that Daredevil was coming back in some way, shape, or form, and especially since it's been 10 years since the release of the first season. Daredevil on Netflix aired back in 2015. And granted, there have been times that we've seen these characters before appear in other things, other media that these characters have appeared in. For example, Daredevil's been all over the place with Echo, with Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm a really good lawyer.
With She-Hulk, and recently the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man TV series, and with Kingpin appearing in both Echo and Hawkeye. So we haven't been seeing these characters do some things for some time, subtly kind of integrated into this world, even though they've always been a part of the MCU. It's so great for them to kind of have something officially a new show or a new season, because for years after 2018, there was, I think we were supposed to get a season 4 of Daredevil with the Netflix series, but I think they canceled it, and then since then there hasn't been anything Daredevil related, and now here we go. And honestly, this is a really solid show, a really great show. Is it as good as the 3 seasons of Daredevil? That all depends, but I will say this, as one thing I could definitely agree is, even though I have been rewatching seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil, and soon I'm going to be watching season 3, there is still something so magnificent and so wonderful seeing Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and seeing them interact with one another, and the performances are so peak, so top tier performance. This is like taking the dialogue from the Netflix series and just applying it to the MCU, even though that universe is a part of the MCU, but it's just that writing, that style, that grittiness, just smartly, geniusly applied here. And it just feels so great just to have these two just have at each other and be on different spectrums and be on different ends of things, because we have Wilson Fisk, who's now the mayor of the city, and Matt Murdock is still doing his lawyer stuff and kind of essentially given up the Daredevil moniker for a few things and a few reasons.
I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
You're a real man of the people now.
A rich man, by his very nature, is self-serving. A mayor serves his city.
Huh.
You don't seem entirely convinced.
Can you blame me? Considering you've tried to kill me a few times over the years.
As you have.
No. Incarcerate, maybe. Kill? Never.
I wonder if your darker half would agree.
Before we go any further, there is going to be lots of spoilers we're going to get into with this series, so if you haven't seen this season, I do suggest you check it out. Pause this video, go watch the season, and then come back to this 100%. I know this was a given, and especially since so many people saw the set photos and the leaked images before this season dropped, but seeing another peak top tier performance from John Bernthal as Punisher is so great. Like I said, it's like as if nothing has changed. Like the MCU really kept it sharp with its writing. They made sure that, hey, we want to make sure that these characters feel true, and they feel so true and so just spot on in this show. We got Poindexter back, aka Bullseye, and he is absolutely awesome to see. And we have other characters that we are introduced, like we've got the introduction to White Tiger, and unfortunately he is giving this great performance, but yet his actor passed away, I think this year or last year, so he's not given a lot to do, and it kind of sucks a little bit. Like he puts on the suit, and then next you know, bang, he gets killed by basically one of the sons of the Punisher type of, sort of Sons of the Batman type shit, sort of cult, if you will, or task force, if you will. The villain, the Muse, is a nice addition to this world and to this city and to everything going on. The action, I think, is... Look, I think it's very on par with the Netflix series, and I know I'm gonna keep comparing to that show, and I just can't help it because those 3 seasons are just peak Marvel television. And I get it. That was an era when that was after the Avengers film came out and before Avengers Age of Ultron. So it was in this state of like, hey, let's reference a little bit of the Avengers, but not be heavily referencing them. And granted, this show kind of does that too, because there's not a lot of like characters that show up. Like, there's no Spider-Man, which is kind of fortunate but unfortunate. There's no Moon Knight, which is again fortunate but unfortunate. There are some references and other cameos by other people, so don't get me wrong. I do like those little nuggets here and there, so that is at least a bonus. And the violence definitely feels straight out of the Netflix era. The only big thing I will say that kind of has me torn, which I understand the storyline, but yet it kind of does detriment things, is Foggy Nelson. He is the driving force. He's the catalyst that launches this series and launches this season, because unfortunately Foggy Nelson gets killed by Bullseye, and he was hired by Vanessa to get rid of Foggy. And it's this whole big plot and this whole big thing centered around the trial and the murder and everything else. This is a unfortunate thing because, yes, this is a fan favorite character. Number 2, he's killed off in like the first episode, and I get it. Like, this is Daredevil born again. He needs like a reason to rise again and kind of rise from the ashes, because this is the reason why Matt Murdock no longer becomes Daredevil, is because, hey, his best friend's gone. I decide to no longer be Daredevil. And that makes sense. We see more of that Matt Murdock dynamic. And like, Charlie Cox really knows how to balance the 2 different dynamics of both the lawyer side and the humanity side of Matthew Murdock, and then that darkness, that vigilante, and everything that he carries when he's Daredevil, or when he once was Daredevil, and that itch to do something for the world, but he doesn't want to do that and be that person anymore, but he wants to be Matthew, but Daredevil is still needed. That weight on him because of Foggy's death. But the problem is that it just, for whatever reason, it just kind of feels a little cliche, and it kind of sucks because literally Foggy and Karen, besides showing up in towards like the last few episodes of this season, they are just non-existent in the show. And I get it, there's new characters that we're introduced to, but the new characters that we're introduced to that are replace Foggy and Karen are kind of just like watered down versions of these characters, and there's new characters that we're introduced to that kind of are interesting but kind of aren't. So it's like, why couldn't we just take Karen and Foggy in this new world with Matthew in this new city, because they're away from Hell's Kitchen? It'd be nice to see them kind of interact differently in a different area of New York City. And I feel like it wastes more time going through this whole, okay, here we go, first episode's this big epilogue and what happened with Foggy and all these other things. I feel like there's just so much they could have cut down, trimmed down, but at the same time, I understand that this is the route they went with. And the first half is good, but then when we get to that second half and when we see John Bernthal, it feels like it just gets so much better. Especially those last 2 episodes. Oh my gosh, absolute cinema. So I'm going to give Daredevil Born Again Season 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So Daredevil Born Again, have you guys seen it? What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to us videos every day from every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every week. Share the video with family, friends, all the good stuff for more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it. I'll look into it as best as possible. Look out for, I have a top 10 idea in mind, more movie reviews, more TV show reviews. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.